Welcome back to the Culture Path Experience. I am your host, Reggie Chatman. As we are beginning a new era of this show, we've got a new location, we've got a new look, and we've got a new producer. So I just want to welcome in our new producer, Destinee Chambliss, who is actually my girlfriend, but also a budding outdoor adventurist. Destinee, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So, what made you decide to join the Culture Path Experience family as we are looking to try and build this brand and elevate it to another level? Why was it something that you wanted to make sure that you became a part of?
Well, mostly because I just love when Black people are trying to grow businesses, especially when it's targeted to just Black people, because a lot of things are not. So anytime you can get a chance to elevate it, it makes sense. So that's why I joined.
I'm curious, and we'll get into it in a second because me and you did just take a trip a couple of months back where you got your first experience snowboarding, which I really want to get into. But just your background in general, right? Are you somebody that in the past has been somebody that likes to do outdoor adventure sports, or is this something that you're trying to learn and get better at?
I do, but I just never had the chance to do it. Like hiking, I always done, but not. I've never done like extreme like trekking or like stuff like that. Like I will always go to Stone Mountain and walk up or around with my mom or by myself or whatever. So I've always done that. Like I mean, it's the city in the forest, so it's like it's so many opportunities to do like outdoor sports. So I have, but I haven't always had the opportunity to do a lot of it.
Why was it something that you think is important? Especially, I mean, look, you live in a different city, or we live in a different city, right? Atlanta, Georgia is a little bit different. There's a lot of people that look like us in this city, but even then, you go to things to do stuff like that, and maybe you don't see a lot of people that look like us up there. Is it a little bit different here in Atlanta, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's really just like I want to stay fit, and if I can stay fit, having fun, then that makes more sense than having fit and being annoyed or feeling bored and just I just don't like that. So in Atlanta, it makes it better because there's so much stuff here to do. Like even if you just drive like maybe 30 minutes away, there's like it seems like it's a whole nother world, and they have all these other things that you can participate in. It's just, I mean, why not do it? It's like right there. It's easy. It's touchable. Like I can get to it quickly. I don't need to fly and do like, oh, I want to go like, wakeboarding, but I got to fly across the nation to get there because there's no beach here, but there's so much things to do here.
I'm curious. So, as you mentioned, you did a lot of hiking and stuff growing up. What about mountain biking, snowboarding, all the other different things that we like to do here on this channel and talk about on this channel? What is your experience with any of that? And is it something that you have always wanted to get kind of more into, or is it just something that you've kind of been pushed in more recently?
Never mountain biking. I've had an experience with mountain biking. It did not go well. Snowboard, I've always wanted to do snowboarding just because we don't really get snow in Atlanta like that. So anytime you would think like, obviously everybody want to go to Colorado, and the first thing you want to do is either go skiing or snowboarding. I always wanted to do snowboarding, so that's always been on my list. So when I got to go to Lake Tahoe, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I've never done it before. Even though the easier route is to do skiing, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to do snowboarding. So
I do want to pause here and take a second because you had a very emotional response to ask about mountain biking. Can you tell me a little bit more about your mountain biking experience?
I went on a 10-mile bike ride with this group here, Peachtree Running. It's a bike store, but they do bike rides. Like every Monday, it's free. Groups, whoever can come out, they come and do it. And they do 10-mile bike rides around the city. I did not have a bike, so I had to borrow a bike. The bike that they gave me was a mountain bike. And we were trying to go up like hills, and I was struggling just because of the way that the bike was kind of like shifting and changing, like how fast and like how slow it would go up the hills, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle. I I don't know if I want to do that again. I can't do that again.
So that was your first time on a mountain bike.
That was my first time on my bike.
Well,
Yeah.
see, here's the deal. The good news is that it seems like you're riding the mountain bike in not its correct situation, right? You haven't been actually on a mountain with the mountain bike. You're riding through the streets, right?
Yeah, on the street. Yeah, on the street.
Would you get on a mountain bike and go down some hills if you had the opportunity to?
If it was like if it wasn't very steep, I would
Well, it's
try.
gonna it'll be at least a little bit steep. You got to have some. It's this is really more a question about
I was
what you're
talking
really
about
about
like,
here.
or just like a little hill. Like I could do that. I feel like I'd be too scared to be like. I feel like I might fall off or something.
Okay. Well, so look, we'll just have to just baby you and get you up to the point. And look, at the end of the day, it's not like you don't have the ability to try and do different things. Like you mentioned, a trip a couple of months back, you went to Lake Tahoe, the opportunity to go snowboarding. Um, you mentioned that always being something that you wanted to do. Why is that something that you wanted to be a part of? Because I know that unfortunately you talk to some other black people and they give you the whole idea of like, oh, that's a white people thing to do, skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, that whole deal. Why is that something that you still were really interested in doing?
So a few this was like TikTok was very still new, but I was seeing some of these videos on Instagram. I used to follow this little girl, and the little girl had to be like 3 or something, and I think she's like very well known now because of like her posting or whatever. But it was a little girl. She would always wear like tutus or like cute little outfits, and she would be snowboarding, but she would be mic'd up while she's snowboarding, and I guess like her parents are recording her like her journey like the whole time she's like going down, she's like jumping over the hills, and I'm just like, this is a 3-year old. I'm way older than her, and I've never done this before. Like, it's no way this 3-year old is just out here showing me up like this. I can't. I had I had to go try. So I kept watching her videos. I was like, man, it just looks so fun. Like they just got her mic'd up. Even when she's going on the hill, she's like, or she's like, wee, like when she's going down. It's so cute. It was so cute. So I've always wanted to go and try it. So then I actually got the opportunity to try it. I wasn't mic'd up, but it wasn't as cute as her, but it was fun.
So tell me a little bit about that experience. Were you scared hopping on the snowboard the first time? How much experience had you had getting on snowboards, skateboards, anything in that regard that allows you or forces you to have a lot of balance and to be able to go down?
I've been on a skateboard before, but not like I really know how to ride. It was more so like just playing around snowboarding. I've never been on a snowboard before. This was my first time. I wasn't really scared because sometimes I can be like a daredevil and like, okay, like just do it or whatever. So when we got there, it just felt weird, like both of my feet being tied to the board, like in the same place. Like I can't move it. Versus like the skiers, like they're just like running, like they're moving their feet all kind of ways, but like I'm just stuck straight. My feet are in the same place, like I can't move them. That was the only thing that was a little bit of a struggle, but after like I went on the bunny slopes, I did it for a few times. I fell a few times. It was like, okay, let's go to like the actual slopes and see what happens.
What about
But
the falling? Because I know that for a lot of people, that's where people would be like, I don't know about this, man. And that's what people are usually sometimes worried about. That first fall, did you feel good finally getting it out of the way?
I think I fell during the bunny slope, so it didn't bother me. But when I fell like on the actual slope, it was hard. And I think I fell on my like butt or the way I tried to fall, but it was like I was falling, and because my feet are like stuck to the board, like my whole leg and ankle were like twisting when I was falling. So that kind of hurt. But after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm falling every time I'm going down. It is what it is at this point. Like I obviously I gotta fall to learn how to do this for the first time. So it was it was what it was. It hurt. It hurt, but at least it wasn't freezing cold out there. It was like it's snowing, but it's not cold. So
I'm
that was
curious,
good.
what kept you from wanting to quit? Because it's obviously difficult and frustrating at times, especially learning something new. And for you to be able to do that, go out there on the slopes for the very first time, you're falling, you're just trying to get to know what it's like to be on this board like this. What kind of kept you going when things were difficult? Especially you're out there, it's cold, the wind is blowing in your face, all the difficulties of it. What made you keep going?
I think it's because it was like that's always been on my bucket list. So it's like I have to at least say I tried to do it, even if I like failed a few times. After a while, it was like, okay, this is kind of fun. Like I failed, but going down is so fun, especially like after a while when you get it and you just like staying up the whole time. Like sometimes I was like twisting and turning. I couldn't really find my direction. But after a while, it was just like, okay, this is actually fun. I like doing this. So I just kept going, so I could like go all the way down without falling. And I think I did at least twice. The other times I fell was like right when I got to the end. It wasn't like in the middle. So that was a good experience.
So you just got better and better as the day kind of went by. Do you remember where there was a moment where you were worried about your safety? Because at the end of the day, a lot of what we do here on this channel is we're talking about. It's not just I'm hiking up something super regular, degular. I'm not. This is all stuff that like there has to be a sense of some sort of danger, right? And when you're snowboarding, things can go wrong. Was there any moments where you were a little worried about what you're doing, and what kind of kept you from being scared?
Yeah. So apparently the slopes are different colors, which I had no idea about. So that was my first time learning that. So I guess you have like blue, green, black, whatever. I think black is like the highest one, and I can't remember what the other color was. Either way, it was going from like beginner to intermediate to like advanced to like I'm a professional. And I think the one that I went down was like I'm advanced, and I'm not advanced. I'm a beginner on an advanced slope, and that just was not working for me. I was way too scared, and the path seems like it was very narrow, versus like the beginner one is like kind of wide, it's spread out, it's more space for people to be there and like fall if you need to. But the other path was like, hey, I'm this big, but the cliff is over here, so if you fall, you're falling off of the path. And I kept falling, but then at one point I was like, I'm gonna have to scoot all the way down because it's getting a little too scary for me. When I kept falling, there was like this little boy that passed me, and he was like, "You're doing so good." I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get up and get down here. This is so embarrassing." This 7-year-old boy is flying down here, and I'm just like scooting my way, trying to figure out how I'm about to get down this path. It was fun, but a lot of people out there are very encouraging. Like everybody up there is so encouraging. I was very surprised by that. That really took me back.
I'm curious because you did mention that little girl that you watched. When you were out there on the slopes and you seeing young kids like that one that passed by you, was that kind of interesting seeing how many different young kids really had the ability to do this at their young age?
Yeah, especially the little boy that passed me on like that advanced path. I'm like, oh, when did you learn to start doing this? What age did your parents bring you out here to be like you could he had to be no older than like he had to be no older than 10 on this trail. And he was so small. I'm like, there is no way this 10-year-old boy is on this advanced path. I'm scooting, trying to get down, and he's like, Nero, good job, Nero. Like he's just passing me. I'm just like, oh my God, like I should have been learning this years ago. And I'm just not learning, but I learned pretty quickly, so that was good. But the kids out there, they were flying. They were flying. Even getting off of the what's it called?
The gondola,
Yeah,
the lift,
they
the
were
chair lift.
flying off that, and I was like falling, twisting, like ankles was hurting, getting off that thing. They were just like, here on to the next path. It's like, oh my goodness. I should have been learning this when I was like 4 years old. I could have been in the X Games by now.
X Games. I can't even imagine that. I mean, that'd be pretty insane. I am curious. So, what does your future look like for you? Right? What's the next thing that you're trying to look to try to do and really expand your outdoor mountain adventure sport portfolio?
Well, I do want to get better at snowboarding first, but the other thing that I do want to try is rock climbing. That seems a little scary, but I do want to try that just because the simple fact you're like hooking and climbing. You look down and it's like 30 feet away from the ground, which is a little scary. And you just, attached with these rods and stuff. I do want to try that, but I need to get better at snowboarding first. So that's the plan. Get better at snowboarding and then maybe try one of the indoor rock climbing places, to help. Maybe they got some tips. And then, okay, let me take this outdoors, maybe to like a small little place. I'm not trying to be stuck up there. I gotta white flag somebody come get me, send a helicopter because I'm stuck and I can't come down. But I try to do that. So snowboarding, then rock climbing, possibly.
I'm really excited to see where the future of your career in this type of activity kind of goes. Before we go, I do want to ask about the future of what this channel will look like and what this company will look like with you part of the fold now. Your vision, you're obviously hired to do a job and help us bring this channel and this company to the next level. Where do you see this company going and how do you plan on helping us get there?
Well, it's going to be elevated to a point where, when some people are watching new things or new podcasts, they always be like, "Hey, do you know about this podcast called whatever or whatever?" Like, you want to get to that point where, at this point, it's getting passed by word of mouth and not people that are actually a part of it. It's other people that are watching it, that love it, they enjoy it, they become a part of the community. It's events that they join that we'll host that they come to, and they, spreading the word about the business. This is just the podcast is just like one part of it, but it's like bigger than what we're doing right now. So it's a real life community, which, I mean, if you think about all these other communities that are out here, like, it can be something like that. Like, it can be as big as Apple. We could be winning Webby Awards for what we're doing. So it's all about elevation.